Hello, Wojciech Pietrzak here, OTSL Season 3, first game, this time against Joshua Mock, the one I've competed against in the final round of Beijing Grand Slam. I agreed to have less time because I had to be late for the game for outside Twilight Struggle reasons. So, and my opponent is from Hong Kong, so he has an evening now. Now about my hand, containment or captured Nazi are desired headlines. I wouldn't like to headline containment because Decal doesn't give ops extra, NATO doesn't, and Asia scoring doesn't, so it would be kinda sorta wasted. No reason to deviate from the most standard and conservative opening, and captured Nazi scientist it is. OTSL is 90 minutes per game per player, so I could invest this 10 into, well, handling issues. If I'm perched, I'm afraid containment is going to be a must somewhere in the middle of the turn, or maybe not. But if not, I'm playing the entire hand because I can't hold both UN intervention and decal. Ouch! Vietnam revolts, so Asia is now quite tough, but fightable for. Unless he plays duck and cover with a coup. Because I need to coup Vietnam, and I feel I need to invest as much as East European unrest here for start. And then even NATO. The best would be to hold the decal and play UN intervention just for ops, but I'm not sure if I can afford it in the long run. Vietnam first. Whew, had I known the result, this would go for Thailand for sure, because not lowering DEFCON is something I really want. A battleground is worth 1 VP, domination in Asia is worth 4. So Vietnam was a non-battleground in this case, and it was a huge one. Countering Vietnam, I suppose, and it was enough for him. But decal is enough here. Going back and forth. He rolled a 5. So had I coup Thailand, he could recoup with a China card maybe, but with no way back for me. So the entire hand is going to be played, and as Theory wrote on his blog, turn 1 is more or less fight for Asia. Of course he didn't mean this, he meant starting the fight from cooing Iran. But well, ooh, 3 ops. In this case, we have to invest a 4 ops. 6 for 6. So he rolled a 4 and a 5. I rolled a 6, a 2, a 3 and a 6. And 1 point of difference may be crucial. Here. Of course, he doesn't have to continue cooing. He may play like Laos, Cambodia and Malaysia, Only Laos, Cambodia. Okay, feudal time. I gave up Middle East, but to be honest, I don't have the power to fight for what I had in Middle East. I need at least 3, and I have 3 more. I have containment, but Asia is of higher priority. And now that Europe is the only remaining scoring, containment should go to France, I guess. Oh, he could get rid of this. Maybe not to France. About to go. I don't like that he got rid of CIA, but couldn't be helped, I guess. Nah. Why should I give it up to die? Die roll. The gold use. Okay, so let's do it like this. Bum. Purging him is always nice. As of the rest of my hand, not very convincing, but I'm glad I drew Suez Crisis and Socialist Governments. So I can get rid of Suez Crisis soon. Oh, and he had headlined the goal, so I think he has taken cover. Yes. And I think he just puts 2 in France. So this is the time to get rid of Suez Crisis and start Ops War in France, because he no longer has anti-French cards. He is purged, and there's still Truman hanging somewhere around, and he needs 3 at least now. 4 ops card left are US, Japan, and what was the 5th one? Nuclear test ban is gone. I have Marshall Plan. Red Scare Purge is activated. Come on, I should remember things like this. Oh, NATO. Yeah, of course, and it's also removed. So 3 ops, basically, or the China. Otherwise, Truman may be painful. I can play almost all of the cards with more or less impunity. Only Nasser and socialist governments would hurt. Socialist governments is going to be my hold card probably, or blockade discard. Independent Reds with a coup. Let's counter coup, shall we? That play was provocative for me to take France, I guess, to let him play Truman with impunity. I don't want to let him do things like this. And I don't want to let him get military operations, so maybe I will space Arab-Israeli war. First Warsaw Pact formed into France, without controlling France actually. Keep Marshall Plan for my last action round, to be able to dominate Europe in a single play. Korean War influence to France. So Warsaw Pact into France entirely. Is probably a good idea. I also should take Libya, because I will trigger Nasser. But am I able to, remains the question. Stinky distal, stinky. Okay. So he has his military operations anyway. Okay, let's just get closer here. And last action round, Marshall to France and UK, I guess. Because what else? But despite this D card on his side, I like my position so far. Defectors influence Egypt, yep. Tegel gone, Suez gone. Socialist in my hand. Europe probably can't get worse. No, it can't. I have cards to discard to blockade. Everything is under control except Panama. Quite a good hand, although probably 5-year plan is not playable really for the event. Not needed for the event. Let's start from this. So if he coups Iran with a success, I probably should go to Libya, Algeria and Panama. If he coups Panama, probably Algeria, Libya and Pakistan. Mexico has slightly lower priority. Yeah. Painless Truman for him. Didn't he really have anything better to headline? If it's so, he is really unlucky. Okay, nuclear test ban I think should be played first. No reason to save a 4-op card for the last play. And containment is still somewhere around. Woohoo! NATO activated. Okay, so as said, Libya, Algeria, and a little change of plans, maybe. I need access to India. Okay, so let's sacrifice one thing and let it be potential Algeria. If he has to invest 3 there, it's always somewhat profitable. And now that he has access to Pakistan, he could be the first to grab India, in which case I need to get a bunch of countries in Asia to prevent the region from domination. Panama can now wait, Mexico can wait even longer. Space candidates. No need to fight for Middle East, so let's do it this way. If he doesn't take India now, taking India and Burma at once makes me quite safe against Indo-Pakistani war. Quite safe. Let's stress it, but even losing in the Pakistani war doesn't let him dominate Asia. Maybe it's worthless to take India in this case. Just having one there is nice, to have access to Pakistan in case he's forced to play the China card. But other than that, other battlegrounds can be much more meaningful. Maybe it's a good idea, for example, to put one in Angola and one in Colombia, because if he coups, I can take Zaire and Angola at the same time. And if he doesn't, and take Panama, and if he doesn't coup, I can go to Ecuador, Peru, and so on. What's the country count in Asia? 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. He may easily equalize it, but not so easily gain domination. I can take 1, 2 quite easily, this quite easily with somewhat risk. Okay, let's resolve event first. I know own card first, but in this case this is a painless event for me, and triggering his events, maybe persuading him into play blockade. And let's go for this idea. If he coups East European unrest to Zaire, Angola and Panama, and I have a counter coup target gaining me mill-ups. If he doesn't coup, just taking Angola and here, or he doesn't coup because he has such a strong event. Okay, I need to repair here and I need to repair here, but the third op can go here. And at least I am not entirely knocked off South America, although I have to take more steps. Due to Che. I assume blockade now, but not as an event. I assume he just uses it for ops. Maybe coup in Colombia, but rather not, because this just gives me a counter coup and mill-ups. Yes, influence. Yeah. And now the question remains, should I space another time? Or should I take Central American battleground? Let's space. ABM Treaty and Duck and Cover Puppets. ABM Treaty is an obvious headline due to missile envy. Puppets quite soon should be played. I think ABM works best against Venezuela. Persuading him into countering right there. So I have these two targets for puppets. The third target is probably Saudi Arabia. Asia is very volatilely equalized so far. But I don't think going Thailand is the right call. I should pick a target which he can't conveniently counter. Which he can conveniently counter, to just persuade him to counter right there and allow me play puppets before it's more active. Okay, in this case Thailand is an obvious target. A 2 victory points switch. Plus I doubt if he puts influence anywhere. He's rather going to lower DEFCON, and if I'm lucky enough he empties only Panama or something like this. He shouldn't grab me any puppet government's targets. Of course I could stop cooing, like putting one here and one here. This would be worth 3 victory points rather than 2. But now I have mill-ups, plus I didn't want to leave DEFCON at 4. Cooing Panama? Yep. So, puppets. ASAP. Central America can be sacrificed just like that so far. Is 5-year plan safe? I have duck and cover, so it should be safe. Because what else? I think nothing else. whatever he plays now, taking the other country in South America and Mexico has the highest priority. The rest of my hand isn't very convincing due to ops. John Paul is not the very convincing move here. Poland isn't probably ever going to be American in this game. Korean War influence. Yeah, but at least this... Not that I needed any more coup targets, but I needed a good place to use Summit. Maybe I just boosted Che for him, but well. This is quite an important game for this division, because it somehow happened, yes, that our game is the first one, although we were drawn from the highest pots. Okay. Africa is lost. South America is not. But in South America I need either a good coup or a 3 ops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think 5-year plan is least usable for an event of all 3 I have, so let's do it this way. And Uruguay has priority over Paraguay and over Peru. Although Peru would be nice to be able to realign after playing Allende. But this can be done with John Paul. As of Africa, I have to minimize losses. CIA is gone, Long Gunman is not, so salt negotiations may be a wise hold card. Usuri is a great event if he doesn't have the China card, but now that he does, it's pointless. If he plays it now, I assume it's due to Cultural Revolution. So then Usuri breaking everywhere is even stronger. But no, not now, because AR5 it is. In AR6 it would be. Or not? I guess not, because he can still headline Cultural Revolution. Okay. Let's not be too greedy. The victory points are nice, but the remaining regions are rather not. With Middle East there's not much to do. With Asia is also not much to do. So Americas and Africas are the most important now. Sorry, Americas and Africa. In general, mid-war regions. And as of Asia, it's a matter of timeliness of Usuri, maybe. There's a Marshall. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. salt is more important, as said. Of course, I'm not going to hold salt at all costs. Now it's even more important to avoid Asia triggering Allende than to hold salt, or to trigger it under such circumstances. Even if my role fails, he still doesn't dominate. And I got yet another great hand. Red Scar is a great card to be salted, and I no longer need salt, because I have Kennedy. Panama Canal less helpful than it appears. Red Scar very important to avoid him dominating, controlling South America, or at least minimize chance to it. But he controlled South America successfully. Yet what he scored is Africa. I prefer Brazil to Argentina, because first, in Argentina there's still an Iron Lady problem pending, and second thing is that in Brazil he has fewer points than in Argentina, which may be important for some Latin American debt crisis later on. But just look at how he suddenly got better in the victory point track. And there's not much I can do about it. With salt I can save 2 cards, and I think it's gonna be Kennedy and Red Scar Perch grabbed by salt. Therefore, I probably need to perform 2 coups to grab military operations. But first of all, I need to take care of South America. I'm thinking about Panama Canal returned event, but this is really helpless now. The only meaningful thing it does is access to Nicaragua. Here you are, my friend. Maybe it was better to play shuttle diplomacy, because now I could give him flower power, so he would have his action round somewhat wasted. No option of placing influence. But the thing that he had to do things like this is still nice. Really, he thought that was the best he could do. Spacing bird trap. Okay, let it be so or not. Maybe it's a brushwood trap. Okay, in case this is a brushwood trap, I can put one in Venezuela, one in Brazil. This doesn't help. I missed the key to brush war. Okay, if it's a brush war trap, I'm gonna fall into it. I already fell into it. doesn't really matter whether it's 7 or 6. But now cooing and cooing. To boost military operations for salt. It's worth noting that now I have more time left than he does, despite I'm losing on 0-10 and he's losing on 0-0. But it's pointless because I can't see any scenario in which either of us is gonna lose this game on time. This is just not going to happen in this game. Joshua Mock, my opponent from today, is one of the players who gained points both in Beijing Grand Slam and in Honolulu Grand Slam. In Beijing he went to the final, where he lost against me, and in Honolulu he went into the semi-final and eventually ended up 4th. Now boom, boom, and salt. Yes, as expected. Boom. Boo! Rolling a 1 was not something I expected and I appreciate. And now South America becomes problematic, and this is not the end of my problems. However, it seems that he has problems too. Now Kennedy may be a lifesaver to discard multiple bad scorings. I hardly ever see such a helpless red scar, because event 1, irrelevant 2, and that's all. Okay, junta. So 3 ops only, and that's the 4th one. Okay, so let's do it once again. And I think I should play the China card, saving both Kennedy and Lone Gunman. Therefore, I should play the China card really soon. Okay. This time it doesn't work as good. The China card played soon. Can just take Thailand. But what I first need to do is to secure some points, because, well, the remaining scorings give him 16, which is enough for a victory. Now that he got rid of this, I should get rid of China card and degrade Defcon so that he doesn't counter here. And now I can save Long Gunman and save Ask Not. I might trigger Long Gunman now that DEFCON is at 4, and maybe I should have done it, but Thailand was too tempting, especially that he was playing as if he was planning to trigger Cultural Revolution. If he lowers DEFCON now, I can trigger Arms Race and then Camp David Accords and attempt to do some things against this Long Gunman. But in general, my main plan to survive is about Kennedy discarding scorings and Long Gunman. Going. Yep, another attempt. This time a successful one. And not much can be done about this. Plus Arms Race is not gonna work anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so blah 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 blah, pointless. Everything is pointless here. I can fight here. Not that it helped. So whatever gives me victory points is now required. Maybe not literally whatever. Influence here. So, is there gonna be a shuffle? Yes, there is. In this case, I really hope to draw all the scorings that are remaining. Middle East, Central America and South America. If it's so, the game starts going my way. Otherwise, the game starts being very, very problematic and probably lost. But there are still cards I wish to see, like Voice of America, Grain Sales. Colonial rare cards. I mean, he had bought T cards. Yes, I know I had one of them, and theoretically I could keep it. Nonetheless, it returned soon, and I haven't seen my crucial cards. I had ABM, okay. He had both Junta and Brush War. In both cases he rolled well. No complaint, of course, this is part of the game. I wonder if I should space the Cambridge 5 or just use its ops. I think ops are more important now. Indo-Paki. I also didn't see Muslim Revolution so far. So realigning Mexico is something potentially helpful. 1 and 2. Okay. Central America is quite safe for a while. And maybe I will not trigger Camp David as an event. I saw this one. And that's kinda sorta great. What's the outcome of Asia? It's thrown, and it's not gonna be otherwise, I guess. So if he coups South America, I'm gonna repair if I can. Otherwise... Otherwise what? Camp David Accords is a certain one victory point. Or a Chili Breaker for 3 victory points, speculative. Yeah, let it be so. Oh no, I didn't get any of the scorings. What should I do with such a hand? Okay, the Voice of America is the obvious attacking point. He got scorings, Middle East, South America and Central America. Oh no, and he got Junta. So here I'm taking you. My best chance is knowledge about him having 3 scorings. I probably don't have time to trigger nuclear subs. I can mess up with his plans, playing cards like Sadat or OAS. At some point I'll have to trigger Kennedy. Nuclear subs are so far my only meaningful card to play for ops. But the board is very volatile. He has crane sales, but this doesn't help because he also has Cultural Revolution and opened China card. And here it comes, the opened China card. So it's pointless to fight for South America. Now if I play Sadat, he triggers Central America. Then I have some time to fight for South America. Central America is worth 5. Middle East is worth 4. Stopping to 0 or stopping to 2. Let's defend here first. Oh, I don't think it was a good call. He should have waited with this. Now Muslim Revolution doesn't hurt me as much, so I gained an extra action round to play a 4-ups card fighting for South America. Oh no. I can also play Willy Brandt. But sooner or later I just have to trigger Kennedy. Yeah, South America scoring. So... okay. Central America secured so far, and even if he coups, it's secured just for a while. Nothing better about it, and I have to discard it all. I know there's a downside risk of drawing 3 scorings. Not this time though. And actually, I drew great. I can immediately fight for Central America with Brush War, but it's now pointless. So what's left to be scored? Africa, Asia, Europe. Can I afford it? I can't afford not having mill-ups, but it's better to have them this way. Of course, it was better to roll a 1 this way than to roll a 1 with Brush War. Yes, Cultural Revolution as expected. And okay, you will be able to discard grain sales to Soviets. But I will have 2 coups. Not entirely enough. What are you discarding from my hand, my friend? I think Chernobyl is the best call. Camp David Accords is now only a 1-point gainer because Middle East is not gonna be important in this game until the final scoring, and I feel this game ends up before the final scoring, and it ends up with USSR victory, provided I can't switch it with Asia and Europe somehow. Okay, Africa is still opened. I should have defected this, but I didn't know he was going to headline this one. And of course he succeeded on the first roll. But UN intervention? Okay, so I have to... Okay, I can't play We Will Bury You with impunity, and I have to play this. Space only one of these. We Will Bury You, OPEC and Brush War. Unfortunately, I need lowering DEFCON now. And I have to give him 3 ops from We Will Bury You, sorry, 3 victory points from We Will Bury You, or 3 victory points from OPEC. So now the main mission is to survive, gaining points to as much extent as I can. He doesn't have mill-ups, but he's gonna easily gain them. Brush War is now a troublesome card. Diamond 8. Africa is enough for him to win. I may also fall into playdeck bug, which triggers flower power victory points prior to triggering the event. So if he makes it 18, I can't play Brush War because I won't even be able to roll, and it's a bug because it shouldn't work this way. But, well, we are playing under this engine, and we must accept whatever it does. Okay, but now Angola is a good Brush War target. My best bet is about the fact that the remaining scorings are rather in my favor. But this means that the timeliness of the scoring was not in my favor throughout the game. If I'm able to win it anyway, it's gonna be miraculous. But I think I am not. Oh well, this happens. You can't win every game. Queen with Yuri Samantha. I don't think this was a good call. Fortunately, it succeeded. So I'm not even losing with Glasnost now. It's not directly. Event. I am losing on a successful space race roll by him. This has to be prevented. I'm not losing on a failed space race attempt by him. But I failed as well, so it means he's gonna see my headline. I was talking about it, but sooner or later it became unavoidable because Argentina was the best target to fight. Brazil would be funny, but okay, Chile was certainly superior. Yes, this may render important, although Chernobyl won't be played. And last action round, well, fortifying Africa. Fortunately, it's been triggered already. Okay, then. Now Star Wars is inactivated. I know he's seeing my headline, but it's worth risking anyway, because it's the only meaningful way to fight for Africa at my disposal. Oh. So thank you for watching and see you next time.